with my camera? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. My shit's all kind of fucked up. Okay, that is really loud. My stuff is all messed up from yesterday's stream. Even though it should not be. My mic is really low. I have it turned all the way up. I don't know why my camera is like, I look so profile. Oh, shit, this fucking... I hope that backpack didn't mess it up. Okay. I'm gonna turn my alerts. Let me look at my webcam. Okay, no. It should not be, okay, now that's fucked up. I don't know. It's early for me. This is an early stream. Okay, sounds great, looks great. I could not, Streamlabs was not working this morning, which is, okay. I was gonna be late anyway, but I was later because of Streamlabs. I don't know why my mic would be low for some of you guys. Hold on one sec. Oh. Sorry, my thermostat was 80 degrees. Also, I can't type in my chat for some reason. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you for the 6 months. Okay. All right. Well, I think it's fine. It's good enough.
Quinn Cool.
Good enough. Hello. Thank you for the 2 months. Watching with Kimmy. Oh my god. What's up, guys? Ooh, I am. Oh, we're gonna see how my brain is working. Because this is the first time I've okay, it's not that early. It's early for me though. And I don't know if I've done a morning stream from Los Angeles. Not used to my room having this much sunlight. I'm not used to seeing the sunlight like this when I'm streaming. So, you and I both. It's too early. This is how my sleep schedule has been. Basically, I sleep for like 5 hours and then I'll accidentally fall asleep on the couch at some point, which I hate because then I know it means I'm not going to sleep well at night. So yesterday after the IRL, I spoke to Will, just checked in with what they're doing in Japan, and then fell asleep on the couch. Woke up at 9. I was like, fuck. And then I was up again till about 3, trying to plan France, trying to plan TwitchCon Paris. Which I'm still not sure if I'm going, and it's in approximately 14. It's in 2 weeks. Yeah, you guys, I know the camera's out of focus. I know it's just how it is. I'm tired. It's been a heck of a week, but it's been great. Got some really exciting streams in. It is what it is, you know? That's life. So yesterday was amazing. I did my first IRL. I've done IRL streams with other people, but it was my first IRL. And for those of you that I asked you guys to count how many writers were at the event. One of you said 4. One of you, I think, said 7 million. It turned out to be 5,000. So close, just a little bit off. Yeah, let's go. I'm not gonna lie, I have such a bad ability to estimate how many people are at something. Like 5,000 people sounds like so many people. And the event seemed like there were a lot of people there, for sure. But 5,000 sounds like such a big number. So, anyway. One day longer, one day stronger. That's right. So we will talk about yesterday's event, which I IRL'd, and that was the Writers' March to Rally in Los Angeles. And we got a bunch of news. There is an update on the sub. We're gonna talk about that. But I want to talk about it in relation to how we treat people when they are very rich and when they are very poor. Because I've been seeing a lot. Everybody's got a take on Twitter, of course. Classic, not surprising at all. There's a lot of takes. And I think that there is one correct take in this situation. So we'll get into that. What else? Okay, so today's an early stream because I wanted to take advantage of having the morning. Since the guys being in Japan means they are taking my night spot. And so tomorrow I'm going to try to do another morning stream around the same time. Saturday will be no stream. And Sunday we're gonna do our dinner and a movie again. Probably around 5. We'll see. Connor Roy would definitely be in that sub. For sure. For sure. And Willa would have been like, I'm not getting in that. And then she would have inherited all his money. Do I like early streams? I do, because it's nice to stream and then be done for the day. So yesterday, I finished at 2 o'clock, came home, and then had my whole day. Now, granted, I took a 3-hour nap, but you don't have the anticipation of the night stream, right? I feel like even though there's 24 hours in the day, and that does not change, it changes depending on your schedule. And for the last 10 months, I've been doing evening streams, and I go to bed so fucking late, so I do not get my day going until it's halfway over, which means that sometimes I'm having to sacrifice like going to the gym, working out, in order to make sure I'm prepared for my stream. And then it's basically like I go live, and then I end stream, and it's the end of the day. It's midnight. Sans ruining the leftist Twitch ecosystem by streaming. So yeah, but the morning leftist streamers are eating good. The morning leftist streamers who don't have to worry about scheduling their stream around the Hasanabi broadcast. You have a job interview tomorrow. Good luck. Yeah, so it's nice to get to do these morning streams every once in a while, especially because I know some of the community members who are not degenerate late night owls, like many of us, get to enjoy the stream. Hi, baby. You guys, it's been really hard being a single mom. I'm gonna be honest. It's been difficult.
What? Do you actually exist at this time?
Yes, I do. Hogan, thank you for the 9 months. So it's nice to stream in the morning. It's nice to get to see people who are, who normally can't make the night streams and have to watch the VOD. And what else? I think just news-wise, sometimes it's easier to do the news in the morning versus at night, right? Because by the time I go live, it's usually around 6 Pacific time. So 9 p.m. East Coast, 8 p.m. Midwest. And some people are like burnt out. Like, I don't really want to hear about the plight of migrants at 9 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. You know, it's like, this is the time when I sit there and I watch, like, I think you should leave. So that, you know, that can be tough. Luckily, my streams are not just full doomer and politics and stuff like that, which would, I think, make it harder to stream at night. There is a variety in there. We do some fun stuff. Nothing happens after 4. That is true. Ever thought about midday stream? You mean like a 1 or 2 o'clock? Ratchums, thank you for the tier 1. Hello, thank you. Hello, thank you for the 2 months. Midday would be terrible. I'm gonna be honest. It would be. I would be going live right when Hassan is going live. Yeah, that would not work. Like, there's a reason that Will Neff became the late night king of streaming, right? That's the trick with streaming, is you have to work around people who are your friends, right? That you're associated with. You have to work around people who do similar content to you, right? Like, every streamer is different, but if you have 2 streamers doing the same thing, you know, you're picking one. Hogan, thank you for the gifted sub. Yeah, that's just the truth with streaming. Everybody does it, right? Like, Seer works around Nick's schedule. So if Nick is not, I think their off day is Monday. When they don't stream, Seer will go live earlier. The Pokimane discourse is so tiring. Yeah, I was going to put in my stream title, The Girls Are Fighting, because I was referring to Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. And then I was like, oh, people are going to come in here and be like, yes, I can't wait for Caroline to add to the drama discourse that has taken over the motherfucking platform. I was talking to Will yesterday, and 1, I was really tired, so I was very cranky. And 2, like, I am legitimately aggravated at the way people's attention works and the way that streaming works when it comes to drama, right? I do think it's important to have a conversation about the dangers of streaming gambling, right? Crypto gambling, stuff like slots. I do think that is important, right? But this constant back and forth, because it feeds the masses who thrive on parasocial drama, right? And it's like, one person will say something, and then that will, you know, be reacted to by the person that they're talking about. And then it just goes back and forth. And so it's not that there's anything wrong with commenting on the situation, like the $100 million deal. That is enormous news, right? Like, the implications for Twitch, you know, the implications for Kick. Talking about Kick as a streaming platform, like, definitely something worth talking about. But it's like, then we get stuck in this. We just get stuck in this loop, and I told Will that, like, I've been frustrated this week because my content does not revolve around whatever drama is happening on the platform. Benefits of being an art streamer: people often pull up our streams on a second chance to vibe while they, yeah, true. So it's very frustrating for someone like me who tries so hard not to get derailed by all the fights that are happening with people who are friends of mine or people who I know, right? Nick Merckx went from sub only to having to follow for 24 hours before you can chat. LOL. Yeah, and then, like, the Amaranth and Pokimane drama, and I don't know, like, I've talked about this before, where on the one hand, I want to comment on that because it's very disappointing. It was very disappointing for me to hear what Amaranth said about Pokimane, right? One, because here are two women who are titans in this industry. One who is, is one who does sex work, right? And constantly has people coming up against her saying that she's doing things for clout, doing this for that. And we're always defending her, right? And saying, like, this is such misogynistic bullshit, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, to see her say those things about Pokimane was incredibly disappointing. But then, on the other hand, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, sit there for 2 hours and give my takes and just keep this circle of drama going. So I feel like I'm always caught between a rock and a hard place with addressing these things. And the other thing is that it always feels like everybody gives a take because they know it's going to end up on LSF. They know they're going to be in the conversation, right? It's like how you stay relevant, how you, I don't know, unfortunately, like how you can grow on this platform. It's talking shit on people. It is drama. And it's killing all our brain cells. It's a lot of drama farming, cheap clicks that everyone will forget. Yeah, everyone forgets about in a week, but then the next iteration of this happens, right? Break the bridge, mend the bridge. Break the bridge, mend the bridge. And it's because that's a whole meta, right? That is the streamer drama meta, and it is very powerful. I'm a viewer here because this is my safe place of the whole drama. Yeah. You know, everything was better when LSF was down. Life was good. I think people maybe experience for the first time this little thing called peace. This little thing called serenity, right? But yeah, it is really interesting. It does seem like there is some stipulation in a kick contract where you just publicly talk shit on Hassan and Pokimane. I'm like, well, sounds great. What do they think the long run is? It just makes kick look petty and depressing to go to. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like, this is all about money. It always is, right? And when you throw an insane amount of money into the equation, so XQC's $100 million contract, right? 100 million. Amaranth's $30 million contract. Like, all of this stems from money. And all of these streamers, like, the bottom line is making a fucking bag, right? And so that is why this has been happening for the last week. And I don't know. I guess, what do they think the long run is? Making a shit ton of money as fast as they can. Citation, thank you for the 6 months. There was not such a drama with Shroud and Ninja. That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't around on Twitch during that time period. So I don't know if drama was an enormous meta like it is now. We weren't their target audience. Impulsive drama baiters are. They're more likely to click on. Yes, absolutely. So listen, like I said, I do think it's important that big streamers especially are talking about how bad it is that Kick is owned by Stake, right? And how many kids, very impressionable, vulnerable children, have been exposed to online gambling because of streaming. And we know, we know how dangerous it is. We know that this is ruining people's lives. We know that no matter like if someone donates to charity or if someone gives a bunch of money to mental health nonprofits, it's like you're still not undoing the damage of exposing kids to online gambling. Like, that's just the truth, right? And I think when people I think the problem here and why there's been a lot of back and forth, besides the fact that like drama is popular, is ultimately when people take a bag and then they are criticized, not necessarily for taking the bag, but what that means, right? It's like, okay, get your money, but you can't deny that the thing that is giving you your money is problematic, right? Lups, thank you for the prime. And so I think that creates a lot of this need for people who are, quote unquote, taking the bag to justify it and to defend themselves. And they feel angry because they feel like people are criticizing them for trying to make money, and they're like, well, all of you are hypocrites. You're all trying to make money. It's like, listen, we're not criticizing you for trying to make money. We're criticizing the platform that is offering you this money and what that might mean for your contract. I feel like people are hung up on Pokey's wording than what she's actually saying. If said I should talk to Steak for months, then it would be weird if I took a bag from them, then none of this would be happening. Everyone's uncharitable to her. Yeah, I think people love to be uncharitable to Pokey because she is the queen of Twitch, right? She is in a very unique position where, one, she's very wealthy. She has absolutely, said this multiple times. And so, of course, when people are very wealthy, it's easier to stand on your ground, right? Sana said this, Pokimane has said this, but at the same time, I think Pokimane gets a lot of hate because she is and has always been the queen of Twitch, right? And like ultimately this is all a competition. This is all a numbers game. And so there are definitely a lot of streamers, especially female streamers, who are coming at her from a place of insecurity and jealousy, right? Whereas Pokimane is not coming at them from that place. She's just, yeah. So, because it's hard to knock her off her, hard to knock her off her ground because she has not, like swayed from who she has been as a streamer for however long she's been streaming, because she is the queen of Twitch. She does not need a kick contract, right? She does not need to take, or is even considering taking any type of sponsorship deal that would be very controversial. Yeah, she has a she's a very strong moral compass. And again, people who feel like they're being attacked because, in their mind, they're just doing what everyone else is doing and making money. So it's like, well, who are you to criticize me when you're making money as well? And it's like that's not the case here. And I'm sorry, last thing on this. To say that Pokimane has fallen off, and that she is just clout farming and chasing clicks is honestly maybe the stupidest thing in this entire discourse. Pokimane was just, she was just in, where was she, in Asia? As an ambassador of Gucci. Like, Pokimane is out here doing the goddamn thing, okay? Pokimane, like Valkyrae, are two of the biggest female streamers who are actually, like, have bridged into genuine celebrity territory, right? She is so much bigger than even streaming now. So is Ray. Like, they are being mentioned in, you know, in the discourse outside of streaming. She was in Free Guy, and we watched that video where they said in the last, what was it? In the last 5 or so years, the only movie that made the top 10 of films that year that was not a Marvel film was Free Guy. You can't tell me that wasn't because of Pokimane. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, is Twitch a perfect platform? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think Twitch is this platform where those of us who stream on it get to feel really good about ourselves because this is some, you know, this is some amazing platform that absolutely has no problems whatsoever associated with it. But it is better than Kick, and it's better than Rumble as far as the content that's being pushed on it, right? So it's always like, you know, what's the worst devil here? Yeah, crypto gambling is a special type of evil. It is. In my opinion, the problem is much bigger than XQC, Kick, or Stake. These will be new of them. It's the law that should not allow that kind of publicity for gambling or other addictions. Right. Yeah, I mean, again, like, this isn't about XQC. This isn't about, you know, this isn't about, like, oh my god, he just signed this massive deal, you know, this is coming from a place of jealousy, right? No, it's about the growing dangers of online gambling. Yeah, Twitch did ban me. I just want to be clear about that. Twitch banned me because I watched 2 seconds of DJ Khaled, so they can fuck all the way off. All right. You know I wouldn't have been, I would not have been banned on Kick. All right. XQC's out here watching Breaking Bad. He watched The Dark Knight. You know, so maybe I will go on Kick so I can talk shit on DJ Khaled. That will be my sole reason. What is crypto gambling? It's exactly as it sounds. It's an online casino that allows you to deposit, withdraw, and play using cryptocurrency. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I can watch, what is Kick? Oh, I forgot. Yeah. So much of this does not make any sense to somebody who is not deep into the streaming community. Yeah, who, Omega Law? Kick is a rival platform to Twitch. And it popped up last year as a competitor to Twitch, and a number of streamers who have been banned on Kick, or sorry, a number of streamers who have been banned on Twitch, or who, you know, whatever their reason is, they were no longer streaming on Twitch, have moved to platforms like Kick, which is much more of the Wild West in the content that you can do. But the main criticism of Kick is the fact that its parent company is Stake, which is like the biggest online casino company. Yeah, there's basically no moderation. And so what's been happening is that online gambling has been being pushed to young viewers who are extremely impressionable, and it's being pushed by not only the platform but by streamers who have taken very lucrative deals with Stake. And so in their contract, they are stipulated to do online gambling on stream. Yeah, for those who don't know, it's STAKE, not Stake. Yeah, so there are kids who are watching streamers do slots for hours and hours and hours, who are seeing them, you know, oh my God, this streamer just made $2 million, when in reality it's like they lost $5 million and they're getting paid by Stake, so it's not really their money. And so then they'll get a promo code for $100 free for slots, right? Well, you know, guess what happens? They end up losing a lot of money. You know, chances are very high that they become addicted to gambling. I think gambling is one of the easiest things to become addicted to. Using crypto theoretically enables one to skirt national gambling laws. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Crypto feels like monopoly money, totally. Yeah, for sure. Highest addiction rate with highest suicide rate. Yes. And the group of people who are most addicted to gambling, who have the worst gambling addiction, are young people. And I think the average age is like 20, right? Which would put that at college age kids who are falling into this really dangerous hole. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, in my personal life, I stay away from gambling because I'm Asian, so my whole family loves to gamble, and some of my family members have had gambling addictions. And so I remember being 14 or 15 years old on a cruise ship, and the Asian side of my family, my whole family went to gamble, like all the adults. And I had grown up being taught gambling by my grandmother. She used to try to teach me how to be a professional blackjack player. And so I knew they were all in the casino. It was 18, I think it was 18 and up. I was 14 or 15 years old. So I snuck into the casino and I took all the money in the world that I had, which was probably $65. And I lost that in the blink of an eye. And then my dad found me at a blackjack table. And he was like, "What are you doing here?" And was like, "You're not supposed to be in here. How did you get in here?" And I turned to him. I was like, "I need some more money." I was like, "I need money right now." And he went, "You need to go." Yeah. So from that point on, you know how people say that they avoid something because they're so afraid of becoming addicted. So I have a number of friends who dabble in recreational drugs, who will refuse to touch cocaine because they are so terrified of becoming addicted, right? And it's the same thing with something like Vicodin, with pain meds, because opiates are just, it is so easy to become addicted to them, and we're all aware of the opiate crisis. So there's a lot of people who refuse to even try something because they're so afraid of becoming addicted. Okay, yes, heroin would be worse, but not every single person is like, heroin is just not something that when you're at a party, there's the ease of taking heroin, right? Like, people aren't passing around heroin. You're not surrounded by it where you go, oh, you know what? I'll try it out. And the other thing with heroin is that largely the narrative on heroin is heroin bad, right? Whereas cocaine, people go, oh, cocaine's a party drug, right? Cocaine's, you know, it stays in your system for 30 minutes. It's basically like Adderall. Cocaine's amazing, stuff like that. Or opiates, which are literally given to you in a medical setting, right? You have a surgery, you know, you're in the hospital. They are giving you those drugs. So I don't know. For me, gambling was something that I genuinely do not. I really try to stay away from, because I am really scared about this demon in me, this gambling demon. So if I go to Vegas, or if I'm anywhere where gambling is around, I really, if I'm gonna do it, I just try to stick to penny slots. It's like, I go where the grandmas are, okay? Me and the Grammys sitting there with our cup of vodka. Smoking cigs, playing penny slots. Those slots are high stakes for some grandmas. That is true. Terrified of becoming addicted to something can't quickly bounce back from. Yeah, and like, I work so hard to, you know, as so many of us do, to make money. And the idea that I could just throw it all down the drain in 5 minutes because I had stars in my I had dollar signs in my eyes, and was thinking like, oh my god, I can get rich quick. I basically try to stay from any get rich quick type of activities, right? Because you never get rich quick. All right? So stay away from MLMs, stay away from gambling, stay away from what else is a get rich quick? Selling feet pics. All that, okay? I really think that's a good life lesson. Stay away from anything that purports itself to be a get rich quick type of thing. What about marrying a billionaire? That is a get rich quick. Unless they don't die right away. Yeah. You know, not everyone is marrying a 99-year-old billionaire who's going to be dead in 1 month. But listen, that is just my personal mantra, okay? I stay away. It's interesting because I'm a risky person in some ways. Like, I take risks, but in many ways, especially when it comes to money, I do not. I am not somebody who plays the stock market. I am not doing crypto. I don't, you know, I'm not gambling for realsies. Listen, with gambling, if you go, I'm in Vegas, I'm gonna take $100. When that $100 is done, then I'm done, right? Like, you're just having a good time. You should always look at money that you are gambling as money that you can lose, right? You were to lose that money on the street, you were to, give that money to someone, you were to lose it on blackjack, whatever it is, that money is not going to, the loss of that money is not going to hurt you, okay? That's how you should always treat any amount of money that you are going to be using for gambling purposes. And gambling includes, blackjack, craps, etc., as well as things like playing the stock market, right? The one thing that my grandma always taught me, the one who also taught me blackjack at a young age, is she was a day trader just for fun. Like, that wasn't her job or anything. And she day traded pretty much up until she died at age 94. But one of the things she always stressed was, I only trade money that I can afford to lose. I am not mortgaging my house. I am not going into debt to have money that I am then gambling with in whatever way. That's not the case here. Yeah, when you gamble, you fully say goodbye to whatever money you're using. Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, as we all know, it's like, okay, so you have $100. Start with $100. Maybe you go up to 500, right? And you're like, woohoo, I'm up, which means I can keep gambling. It's like, you can, but the probability that you're going to lose all that money is very, very high. And then what happens is that it's a mind game, right? Listen, I don't need to get into like the psychology of gambling, but it's like that with a lot of things where you are taking risks with money, right? And that's how people end up so deep in the hole. Sunk cost fallacy. Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. I remember reading this story once about, it was really sad. It was like this community of old Asian people in New York. Okay, wait, let me see if I can find it. Old Asians in New York getting on. Okay. This is a very, very sad story. So there's this really sad thing that has been occurring in the elderly Asian community. I think this story that I read about was in New York, but it's probably in other cities as well, where Asian American seniors who are living in poverty ride these casino buses to Pennsylvania. So hours on a bus, right? They get up very early in the morning. They ride these buses, and it's not for the purpose of gambling, but for making ends meet. Because seniors who take the bus to the casino regularly, they receive a $45 credit upon their arrival. Marie Isabel, thank you for the tier 1. So they get a $45 credit, and instead of using the credit to gamble, they sell them to actual gambling patrons for $38. The bus ride costs $20, and they net themselves a mere $18 profit at the end of the day. It's so fucking sad. Some of the seniors who take these buses don't even have homes. Like, they live below the poverty line. And this is just a way for them to try and fucking survive. But yeah, it's like it's like hundreds of Asian American seniors who are just looking to make a few dollars and take the 4-hour round trip on any given day. Yeah, and then basically they arrive, they get their credit, they sell their tickets to casino patrons, and then wait for the next ride back home in a waiting room for about 5 hours. Yeah, this country fails people. So, okay. Let's segue. This country fails people, which segues into so much of the content, right? Pretty much every news story is like, oh, yeah, our country, our world has failed people. So today's stories that I want to cover are the WGA Strong rally, okay, which was yesterday that I IRL'd. It is the 1-year anniversary of Roe. Talk about the country failing people. And then speaking of Roe, which 7 of the Supreme Court justices voted to overturn a year ago, we are going to look at the latest Supreme Court scandal, which involves Justice Alito having his own sugar daddy as well. So listen, guys, it's we're at a point now where it's like, okay, which Supreme Court justices do not have old white billionaire sugar daddies? Okay, who out there is like not getting paid by some billionaire? Probably none of them. True. And these are the people who are members of the highest court in this country, and these are lifetime positions, so not scary at all. We're going to talk about the Titanic sub. The update to the sub is that the particles, the metal pieces that were located around the Titanic have been confirmed to belong to the sub. So we're going to talk about the discourse on that as it relates to the plight of migrants who have been crossing the Mediterranean and how more and more of them are dying, and yet no one gives a fuck. We are going to cover this story of Taylor Sheridan, who's the creator of Yellowstone, and this gigantic profile of him in the Hollywood Reporter. And it's called Taylor Sheridan Does Whatever He Wants. I Will Tell Stories My Way. Fuck this guy. He's the fucking worst. So we're going to go over that. And then if we have time, we are going to cover... we're going to watch an Actors on Actors. That will be towards the end. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, and then of course we've got Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene. The girls are fighting, right? Insane take from a writer. Look at it as a take from a Republican, a normal take from a Republican. Okay, don't look at it as an insane take from a writer. Look at it as a very normal take from a Republican. Because that's exactly who he is. I don't know if you're interested, but there's a press conference about the sub in 7 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can watch the press conference. We can start off with the sub story. I don't want to watch it if it's like an hour, because it's like, we know. I don't know. There's not really much that they could say in this press conference that like the entire internet is not already aware of. No spoilers on the sub story. You're just starting the series. Yeah. Here's what I'll tell you is that the outcome happened immediately, and we have spent millions of dollars and lots of resources to locate this submarine. Yes, I did see the stepson. All right. Well, where's the press conference happening? We can pull that up and is there a link to it? I'm gonna go grab some more water.